Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to my first voiceover. So today I decided to go a little more in detail on the acrylic pourings that I do, and this video is a little longer because I decided to do two of them. But right now you can see me mixing my colors. Some of them I did mix more than one, about 2 or 3 of them I mixed different shades of blue or pink, or maybe I think one of them I did blue and pink. But yeah, I'm just going to keep mixing my colors until I get the correct amount I want in each cup. So as you guys can see now, I'm going to start adding the water to my paint that I added into my cups, and this is to simply just liquefy the paint a little more, especially if your paint's thick. You really want to add water before you add the Floetrol, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. So I'm just going to add this into all my cups and keep mixing until I get a certain or perfect consistency that I would like. So as you guys can see now, I'm adding my Floetrol to my paint that I already added water in, and I'm going to mix this up really well. And one thing I want to tell you guys is this is actually very tiring, or at least I find it tiring, especially if you have a lot of paint. I know it looks fast, but anyway, so you're just going to mix your paint, and Floetrol is just a acrylic paint thinner, so you can find this in hardware stores like Home Depot. So I'm just going to continue to mix this into my colors until I feel like it's mixed all the way. A lot of the paint gets stuck at the bottom, so you really have to mix it to make sure that you get close to the true color. Floetrol doesn't take away color from most paints, but I find with darker ones you have to mix a lot harder in order to get that true color back into the color or back into the paint. So I'm just going to continue to mix, and you guys will see what I do next. Okay, so now I have my canvas all set up. I know this is kind of weird setup, but if you watch a lot of videos on acrylic pourings, a lot of artists have their, their own personal setups. So this is just mine. I just take 2 metal containers and I sit my canvas up on cups, and it's just easy to pour the paint in. It just makes for an easier cleanup. So I'm going to start by, as you guys can see, I put white paint down first, and I'm just going to start layering my colors. I don't have a certain way that I layer this. You can do it any way you want to, but I just decided to kind of put my darker colors on the end of my canvas and work my way in. I kept yellow away from the blue because a lot of the times in my acrylic pourings I forget that the yellow mixes with the blue and it always makes the green. I know that's simple, common facts, but I always forget that when that happens. So I tried to keep it away from the blue as much as possible, and as you guys can see, I actually completely failed to do that because I put blue in the middle, which I didn't even notice till now. So yeah, it's completely up to you. Just pay attention to your colors and what colors you want to mix and what colors you don't want to mix. So this method is the swiping method, and this is something this is my first time trying this, and I had a lot of trouble doing this simply because what the tool I was using to swipe the paint wasn't long enough for the canvas, so I had to go back, and you guys can see how I kind of messed up a few times and how I wasn't satisfied, so I kept swiping it. And I honestly kind of loved how it was the first time I did it, but I went back over it, and yeah, you guys can see what happened. But I just encourage you, if you try this method, to have something that's long enough for your canvas so you can do it in one smooth motion. It'll make it a lot easier to just keep the painting kind of in a fluid motion. Here you can kind of tell that I did it twice, but I end up liking the results of these, so yeah, you guys can see what the finished results are like. So as you guys can see now, I decided to go ahead and do another painting. One, to see if I can do it better this time, and two, because being my classic self, I poured too much paint, so I hate wasting it. I like to do another one. But yeah, again, I kind of kept the yellow in the middle, and then I layered the paint. I added a lot of paint on this one. The canvas was a lot smaller, but I was trying to get rid of the paint. But you guys can see in the end that I end up pouring a lot off. So I'm just going to let you guys watch the rest of this. It's the same process. I'm layering the paints. I put my darker ones on the corners. And the only thing different I did with this is I moved it around like I do with my other pourings. I didn't really do that with the first one, but I don't think it made that big of a difference. I ended up getting rid of more paint. So I'll stop talking and let you guys watch to see what happens.